not all problems need to be solved. What does this mean? Essentially, it's hinting at your perspective. So when it comes, let's say, certain problems, you're physically out of shape, financially, you're broke, mentally, you're uncertain, just filled with a lack of clarity. Those are problems that are fundamental, problems that can't be worked around. No clarity means that your business, that your relationships, the quality is low. No physical health, you know? What's the sick man's one wish? Just to be healthy. But in this idea of problems, there are these big problems that don't need to be solved. The ones I've just listed are fundamental to all growth and success. Those are the ones that can't be overlooked. But there are other more specific problems to specific areas that don't necessarily need a complicated rocket science like response. Rather, there are workarounds. There are ways to say, well, when something's stinging, when something's confusing, and you just don't have any idea of what to do next, how to fix this thing, sometimes what you do is you take a step back. You look for ways to go around, up, under, or over. My point is that we have to be diligent in understanding, like, what is this situation? What is the impact of the problem? And strategically and tactically, what makes the most sense here? Because sometimes working straight through the tunnel, working straight through the situation, it isn't worthwhile. And to become a good decision maker, you have to place your attention on thinking bigger picture, on understanding how this not only affects you, but others, the environment, and looking at situations from a web-like perspective where you're paying attention to how everything compounds, what makes sense. And I feel that the better we get as humanity, the better we get at looking at a problem and understanding what its big picture implications are. And is there a way that this could be solved with less effort, with less deep, complicated problem solving? But maybe there are workarounds. There are smoother, nuanced, but smoother ways to go about the situation. So it's not always and never. There isn't just a simple framework for this, but it comes down to thinking both zoomed in and big picture, understanding the implications on all levels. And essentially, the way that you are going to figure out how to become a better decision maker and how to realize, can I work around this problem? Do I have to go straight through it? Can I ask some people for their opinions, how they solved this before? What can I do to make this situation as frictionless, as effortless, as smooth as possible? To get to that place, you're going to have to experience the opposite of what I'm talking about. You will find yourself, most likely at some point in your life, working on a problem that just seems astronomically complex, that you just can't find a way through. And when this happens, the interesting part, and this is the theme of everything I'm saying, let's say you've been working on something for 5 hours, you're deeply into it. What makes the least sense is to step away and go for a walk, to look for another way around the problem, over, under, sideways, whatever. But the reality is that that's exactly what is going to make the solution come to you as soon as possible. To realize that there are sweet spots, that you can go head first into a problem for 90 minutes, for a couple hours. But then there becomes a point where the quality of your mind's focus falls off. It cliff falls, and it makes so much more sense if you can zoom out and think bigger picture. Because of course, in the moment, it makes no sense. I want to solve this problem, so I'm going to keep working on the problem. That's how your mind works. But that's not how the big picture works, because your mind's quality goes down the drain once you stop charging yourself, once you get tilted in some sort of way. So to take a walk, to look for the workaround, is not sensible to your ego, which is obsessed with finding the solution, but to your strategic and more intelligent self, the zoomed out, the self which takes account of both the tunnel vision and the big picture. That version of yourself fully understands. I go take a walk right now. I do a workout right now. I'm going to cook some healthy food right now. I'm going to reset and come back to this problem with a clear mind, with high energy, because I got some sunlight, I got some movement. And then maybe the solution, which is no, you don't go through the problem, you work around it. Maybe that specific solution, the idea which brings you to your answer, maybe that pops into your mind after taking a break. So it's interesting. It's not always or never, but I think the priority is to question yourself, to have the observation ability when you're in something, deep in the thick of something, to reflect, to notice, what am I doing? What's the quality of what I'm doing? And is what I'm doing sensible? Because if you want to get the most done, sure, once a year, once a month, you can go hellbent and work 16 hours straight. But for the most part, if you want to build something that is high quality and sustainable, you're going to have to figure out the right routines, the right order in which actions are done, how to split up your day to enhance productivity so that you're feeling good all the time. And personally, what I've realized is to do that, you have to be strategic. I cannot just do all my business work in one session. I can do some, then I can go do jujitsu, then I can clean up, do some calls, have some good food, go for a walk, then I can do more business work. My point is that in working through anything, we have to be strategic and realize, what's the quality of my effort? And you can't give your all focused effort when you've been sitting down for hours, when you haven't eaten, when you haven't covered the fundamentals. So that's what it comes down to. There are problems. Some problems are irreversible. Some problems are fundamental. They need to be solved. Then you have other situations where you can work around, where you can reach out to customer service. You can do other things. So there's no bow to tie here. But what it comes down to is continuously observing the quality of your effort, the quality of your feelings, the state of mind which you're operating from, in realizing, reflecting upon how all that I just said links to the output, the process, and what you create, what you put out, what answers you find, and what problems you solve. So it's a loop, but it all starts with fundamentals. Some problems you can solve uniquely. Some problems don't need to be solved. Others, they're not problems. They're just simply opportunities to level up your life. And that's the bow I want to wrap. I use the word problems a lot today. These are not really problems. They're just opportunities. Easier said than done. Easier to say that than to, in the moment, view something which is unpleasant to your ego as an opportunity. But I promise you, this is how it works. Don't believe me, though. Do not believe me. Please test it out. Pay attention to making that shift. When you view things as opportunities, do answers come quicker? Do you get to the solution faster? If this was valuable, see, I'm talking one to many. I cannot do what I could do one-on-one. So my offer, mind, body, spirit, any sort of stress, any lack of physical respect for yourself, lack of confidence, anything around self-respect, around mind, body, spirit. If you are not where you want to be, there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be. And I'm not going to guarantee that I can fix it with you because I don't know. Some people will not work well with me and I won't work well with others. But at the same time, I can guarantee you there are so many of you that we could mesh smoothly, accelerate your progress substantially, and transform your life, bring you from where you are now to where you want to be, and save you time, energy, effort, confusion, and make it enjoyable. Honestly, I'm confident that if we are a good fit, it will be an enjoyable process. So if you're interested in anything that I just said, link in bio, justinagliscus.com. We'll see what happens, but I enjoy making these videos. I'm grateful for you listening. Have a wonderful day.